All right, welcome everybody to this video. My name is Ali. Today we're going to talk about some charts, some news, and then we're just going to talk about some strategies that I have in mind um, before we're hopefully going to make some profit in the market. So let's just start with the Bitcoin chart. Let's start on the daily time frame. What we can see on the weekly time frame, excuse me, we can see an amazing support level sitting around this level, which is going to be around 20K. And the next major support level is going to be around 13K, 11K, all the way up to 14K. So if we keep this level as a good support level, then it's going to be very healthy for the market. If not, because there's still one event that's going to happen, that is the mountain GOX. All the Bitcoin that has been held by this exchange will be released this upcoming month, and all those people that just weren't able to sell their Bitcoins, most of them will probably sell, which is going to trigger a immense sell pressure. So I think if that's going to happen, all the people will just take their profits, and the market will go for another leg down. So it can go all the way back to 12K, 11K. So that means that we can, accumulate some more crypto coins, Bitcoins, and whatever, and then just hodl all the way up to the next bull run, which is going to happen in March 2024. So the next year, 2023, is going to be either a relief release is going to take place, or it's going to be a boring sideways market, which is part of the game, and you just got to be patient. So, but that is one scenario that can happen. Another scenario that can happen is this one. I'm going to show you guys. This is the let's see. Basically, let me just go to the daily time frame. It's better. So you can just basically consider this part over here. You can consider this as a fake out, and this one is the support level, and we got rejected at the resistance level. So what I see is that we can just go a little bit more down, all the way up to 18K, 17K, and then just go sideways a little bit, and then form a double bottom. A double bottom pattern is a bullish pattern, which indicates that the market is going for a reversal. And once we break the neckline level over here, that is the moment I expect the market to flip it as support, and then go sideways a little bit, and then go for a new attempt to break the 31K level over here, which is basically this resistance level. It's going to be a tough one. And then what I think is what's going to happen is we can just potentially form a inverted head and shoulder. This is the left shoulder. So I'm just going to draw that for you guys with this. So we have the left shoulder, we have the head, and then we have the right shoulder, something like this, something around this. And then our technical target will be around, yeah, 57K. So, but yeah, that is something potentially that can happen. So yeah, that's basically my plan that I'm waiting for. There's two scenarios that can happen. It's yeah, the mountain GOX is gonna be painful, but we'll see what happens, and we're just gonna be flexible with our plan and strategy to make sure that we can take the most profit out of this market. Either way, to up to 2024, which is I'm gonna show you in this chart. Let me just show it to you guys. Let me just remove this, and then show you this one. Let me just remove the Fibonacci levels like this. This is basically a good time to accumulate more Bitcoin. If you just look at the time frame, every time Bitcoin went into a halving effect, that's the moment when we went into new all-time highs. And the next halving is going to take place in March 4th, 2024. So we have a lot of time to accumulate Bitcoin. We can even go all the way back to 60K for a relief rally and go for another leg down, and they just go move sideways, and then then we're just gonna break this all-time high, which is gonna trigger a new move to the upside, something like that. So around till 2024, I'm just gonna accumulate more Bitcoin, just gonna dollar cost average in, and be patient and play the waiting game. Enough of that. Let's just go into the charts. We have seen that the hash ribbons indicator flashed another buy signal, and every time it flashed the buy signal, that indicated that the bottom is in and that the market is going for another move to the upside. So we can potentially see a relief rally that's going to take place before we hit another capitulation, another black swan event, which is going to be very likely because we President Biden approved the Inflation Reduction Act, which is basically they're going to print $740 billion to fight inflation. But actually, the money printing that caused inflation. So they're not going to solve it. They're just going to delay the problem a little bit. So I expect another black swan event that's going to take place in the future. And then we just got to be patient till the next halving effect. And then, the market will go parabolic in the future anyway. So I just play the waiting game. We can see that in the past cycle, in cycle 2017, that we formed a double bottom, made a relief rally, and then we went into the new black swan event. And the same pattern is happening over here, as we can see. So from the price perspective, we can see that it's forming the same patterns, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to take place. But this is an indication that the bottom is in. We can also see from another perspective, from this indicator, that it basically flashed and showed that the bottom is in, that the market is going for a reversal. All right, another indicator, if you look at the money flow, I think it's the money flow. I think this purple indicator is the money flow, and the price swing. So every time the money flow indicator just reach this level, it basically shows that there's more room for money to flow into the markets, which is going to trigger another bull run. And I personally think, like, in the worst case scenario, it's going to take place in 2024. And the good scenario is that, according to the elite wave theory, look at the price structure, we still have one leg to go up, the last hurrah, that's how I call it, before we actually go into the real bear market. So another thing that I want to point out, and what I learned, is that since institution and big companies started to adopt Bitcoin, and even countries such as El Salvador and other countries, we can see that those big whales, those big banks, they can make a lot of profit with small percentages. So that is one of the reasons why the market isn't as volatile as in the previous cycles. So that is something that I learned, and I'm just gonna take my profits the next time in the early stage, and then make sure that we're just gonna play the safe strategy. Because all my profits, well, most of my profits are now gone. It sucks, but it's a learning lesson. All right. If you look at the Bitcoin cycle back in 2014, 18, and 2021, we can see the cycle tops and the accumulation phase and the cycle bottoms before we hit another move to the upside. So the accumulation phase is always going to be followed by a relief rally. So we can expect, this is on a monthly candle. So each month displays 1 month. So it's going to take several months. And I think the last quarter of each year is going to be the most profitable one. If you just look over here, crypto sites, if you go to moneychimp.com, you can see that September is the most bearish month. And then we have October that's coming up. It's going to be bullish. We have November and we have December. The last quarter of the year is always the most bullish one, where the market tends to go to the upside. So that's what I'm expecting as well. Perfect symmetry. Look at the RSI level and the price structure of Bitcoin. We can see that it's forming the same pattern, and the indicators are also on the same level, which basically indicates that the bottom is potentially in. We've seen this one in another chart. This is also the hash ribbon, right? Yeah. And then we have triangle consolidation, double bottoms, and consolidation. So we have the triangle formation, we have the double bottoms, and we have the new move that's coming up to the upside. So this is something that we need to, that's also something that I want to point out. Like, the last quarter of the year is going to be very massive and parabolic. That is something that can take place. If you just look over here in the cycle of 2013 over here, you can see that the last month this October, November, and December, these months were very, very bullish. So this is something that's gonna is potentially gonna take place as well. So we need to be sure that we need to be prepared for all scenarios and have a plan ready when it's gonna play out. All right. And then we have the total market capitalization of crypto. Rejection at the crucial point of $1.2 trillion is the point of market consolidated, holding the 200 weekly moving average for support, implying continuation still likely, and the bottom is in or close. So yeah, this is the 200 moving average. It basically is a good support level for all the previous historical bull runs, and we're now yeah just bouncing around these levels, and hopefully this is gonna form into a double bottom, and then we can move to another 2 trillion market cap, total market cap, before we make new moves to the all-time highs. Just play the waiting game. That's all I can say for now. We have a this is a daily time frame. We have a rising wedge, which is basically bearish, and it actually shows that it is bearish. This is the theory, and this is the actual price structure. So we can still make new moves to the upside for another attempt to break this resistance level, which we got rejected at the previous back in June. So just keep accumulating, and I will tell you why I just keep accumulating despite the market condition. I definitely know this is going to be the future, and all these reasons to sell are just reasons to hold on, buy more, and I'll show you in the chart. The hash ribbon flash buy signal, it flashed again back in 2019. It resulted in a 287% up run. It was always bullish, so that's basically what it's indicating. So we're just gonna have to see what is gonna do this time. So I'm really curious if it's gonna be bullish again, just like all the previous time it flashed, or it's gonna be bearish. I don't know. I think it's very bullish. Um, Ethereum and the dollar. If the dollar goes down, that means the crypto market in general goes up, and if the dollar goes up, it means that the market goes down in the crypto market. So that's why it's very good to keep an eye on the dollar as well. And yeah, just look from a different perspective to see what's going to happen in the market. XRP is another coin that I'm super bullish on. Why? Because XRP provides a lot of solution that's coming for the upcoming problems like the cyber pandemic that the World Economic Forum is preparing themselves for. Let's say, for example, we have a strong winter that's coming, and it's going to be so cold that the internet connection is going to go down. We have some cyber pandemics going to go down, and we still need to be able to send money from point A to point B. And XRP is working on it already has a network that's going to be able to send money on while we don't have any internet access. So, and if we look at the price structure on a monthly time frame, it's a long consolidation part, and it also shows that once we break the resistance level, it's gonna go very parabolic. So we still need to wait like at least several months, according to the chart, 1 to at least 3 months or 4 months before we break the previous all-time high and move to new all-time highs. So be patient, guys. Be patient. We have the mountain GOX. Yes, this is also something that I discussed already. So basically, there's people who lost their bitcoins; they will get it back. They're in a massive profit, and I think most of them will become impatient. Just the human behavior is like that, and they want to just take their money. And it's gonna have an impact on the Bitcoin price as well. So be prepared for another crash that's coming up potentially, or maybe those people are just gonna hodl it. Hopefully, okay, one of these companies built the metaverse with billions of dollars. The other one built with their community. So this is Mark Zuckerberg that's showing the metaverse that he's building for Facebook. It's now called Meta. And I think this is basically a troll stunt. Why? Because if you want attention from the people on the internet, if you want something to go viral, you need to do something stupid. And from this point on, you can just make things better. This is like the lowest of lowest quality that you can deliver, and from now on they're just going to make it more and better and better. And I think this is a public stunt from them, from their side, just to get more eyes on the projects and to get awareness that people they're building Facebook and whatever, and people are just potentially going to dump their stocks on Facebook, and they're just going to work with insider traders and just buy it more, and then later on in the future they're going to upgrade it to new levels, new qualities, and so on, and they can just surprise people with another element. So that's why it's sometimes better. It's a good strategy as a company to not show your maximum potential right away, but just build it up slowly. And that's basically what they're doing. Africans are sending Bitcoin peer to peer without internet using future phones. You can stop adoption. So this is basically indicating that you can send Bitcoins without internet connections. It's going to be very bullish. A lot of people who don't have bank accounts cannot participate in the financial system. So there's a lot of money that's coming and flowing into the crypto market. And it's going to be a multi-trillion dollar worth assets. How much money did the United States throw away? So, United States throws away 82 million COVID-19 vaccine doses. How much does one COVID vaccine cost the United States? Let's do some simple math. $19.15. If you just multiply that with 82 million, if I'm not wrong, then you can see just how much money they just threw away. It's a lot. I can tell you that. 51 years ago, Nixon suspended the convertibility of the United States dollar into gold. This was the beginning of the largest Ponzi scheme ever seen. The value of the US dollar has steadily been falling ever since. And that is the reason why I believe that the US dollar is one of the biggest Ponzi scheme ever. The fiat currency is one of the biggest Ponzi scheme ever. It's not backed by gold, it's not backed by oil or anything. It's just backed by trust and by debt. And that is something that I want to point out to you guys is like, just study history and you will understand what in the position they were in. And yeah, the US dollar just keep decreasing over time in value, and that is the reason why I just keep investing my money. Otherwise I would lose purchasing power anyway. So I'm taking the risk into the future technologies. The people who are in 30 trillion in debt are giving you a credit score. Just think like that. It's insane how the world works that we live in. It's insane. Okay, there were so many reasons back in 2009 up to 2021 to sell your position in any type of market that you invested in. And even though if you just ignored all those reasons, you would, and just hodled for at least 11 years, you would be in massive profits. So I'm going to tell you the same thing. All the reasons that you hear right now to sell your crypto assets, just ignore it. This is 100% the future. Future technology. The world is going to live more digitally. In 2030, you will own nothing. You will be happy. That's what Klaus Schwab, the head of World Economic Forum, says. So they're definitely going to use crypto technology and blockchain technology to implement it in the world global system. So all the reasons that you hear right now are just temporarily FUD. Everybody just forget about all these events over here. So all I just got to say to you guys is just look at history. We had all these reasons to sell our asset, but now if you just ignore it for at least 11 years, you will be a massive profit. Just hodl your coins for at least 10 years that have strong fundamentals, and that's going to make you reach financial freedom. All right, so that's something that I just want to share with you guys in this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot from it. This is my perspective that I just want to share with you guys. And as always, guys, be prepared, have a plan ready for every type of situation. And don't be afraid what is happening. Just buy more and only invest the money that you are willing to lose, okay? Thanks again for listening in. And as always, happy learning.